in your area.
In 1968, a news store, Cub Foods, lowered grocery prices dramatically. The other guys didn't think Cub could keep prices that low. Cub didn't budge. Oh, come on now. That low? Yep, Cub didn't budge. But what about quality then? It went much higher than anybody imagined. The highest quality, the lowest prices. The record still stands. And to celebrate Cub Foods' 30th birthday, these products are on special this week.
This man got his abs of steel by using something the NFL won't touch.
The Lexus Halftime Show, brought to you by Lexus Luxury Automobiles, the result of a relentless pursuit of perfection. Once again, from the ESPN Zone, Chris Berman.
Welcome back to halftime, everybody. The score, an upset perhaps in the making. Minnesota leading at Lambeau Field to pack with a 29-game win streak. Vikings 24 and Green Bay 10. In the ESPN Top 10 Plays of the Week, we bring a wide range of activity, East and West, college and pro, and the best impersonation of a running back by a 300-pound defensive tackle. Here we go. First of all, trickery will get you everywhere. Former Packer Edgar Allan Poe Bennett for the Bears authors the halfback pass to Chris Penn. Bears come from way back to beat the Lions 31-27. Falcons wide receiver, the rookie Tim Dwight, throwing across the field to the quarterback, Chris Chandler. Watch this. You block him right there. Chandler makes the move, 51-23 Atlanta. Great week of division playoffs in baseball. The best scene for Trevor Hoffman and the Padres as they celebrate their win. The most bizarre scene, Seattle at Kansas City. Sunday night football. On the outskirts of the city, 6 inches of rain in 2 hours. 9 turnovers in Sunday night football. And it wasn't his fault, but you knew 2 of them would happen by Ricky Waters. Maybe this wasn't the most bizarre. How about in New Orleans? Patriots feel they have this ball down on the 1. Larry Wiggum doesn't, but the ball is still alive. Andre Battle of Hastings picks it up. And how bizarre, he could go OMC. Only Tom Tupelo Honey saves the touchdown. Patriots win by 3.
Score! Very nice! That was very well!
The Falcons, 3 touchdowns in 48 seconds. Bob's sister Christian, the first one. Chris Chandler to O.J. Santiago, the second one against Carolina. Following, William White on the fumble recovery. Wow! And how about college football? Last play of the game, Arizona trails 28-24 at Washington. Ortiz Jenkins for the win. What? Touchdown! Take another look. The Wildcats 5-0. They win at 31-28. The big men cometh. Reagan Upshaw of the Bucks helped ruin Danny Erie Cannell of the Giants. You know Bruce Smith can move. He goes around Jamie Brown, makes the sack on Steve Young. It's a fumble. Number 75, Marcellus Wiley. You remember him from Columbia. Looks like a running back. And 18 touchdowns as a tailback with the Lions. And former Viking and Pro Bowl defensive tackle Henry Thomas. Look at this. Against the Saints. What? And then touchdown. Thomas, his 3rd career touchdown. When you get big guys moving like that, Barry Sanders, eat your heart out. Coming up on the Lexus Halftime Show as we roll on, a review of the first half, in which the Vikings lead the Packers 24-10. We'll be back.
Yo, down here. I'm the Brooklyn Bridge. You think you could take me? You want a piece of me, huh? Let's go. You and me. Right now.
The undeniably smooth, ever luxurious ES300. The road is calling. Answer it.
I got your fancy suspension right here.
ABC Tuesday, Jill's nightmare comes true.
Well, some women go for that bald look.
What would my sister see in your brother?
Herself.
Home improvement. Then the Hughleys are fitting in nicely in the suburbs.
So, Mom, is Sally having a black baby or a white baby?
Yeah, honey, I'm kind of curious about that myself.
Home improvement, followed by the Hughleys, ABC Tuesday.
How many detectives can catch a killer with nothing but a trench coat?
Hey!
And a cigar?
I really shouldn't be smoking.
Only one.
You're a detective.
I guess I am.
Peter Falk.
It's always a pleasure to see you. You intrigue me.
In the role he made famous.
Very disturbing, isn't it?
Sally Kellerman, Patrick McGowan, and all new Columbo, ABC Thursday, 9, 8 Central.
Welcome back to the Lexus Halftime Show. Once again, Chris Berman.
Welcome back to the zone, everybody. 24-10, the Vikings trying to beat the Packers at Lambeau. The only division losses Mike Holmgren's ever suffered at Lambeau Field his first year back in 1992. The last time the Vikings, if they hold on, were 5-0 was way back in 1975. Our primetime football menu rolls on. Here's what's coming up Sunday night on ESPN. How about those Falcons? Jamal Anderson and the 3-1 Atlanta Falcons facing a New York Giants team in search of a little more production at offense. And then on Monday night, a Battle of Florida. Dan Marino and the Dolphins go north to take on Mark Brunell on the undefeated Jacksonville Jaguars. ESPN and ABC, your exclusive networks for primetime NFL football. Now let's go back to a wet, certainly not frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. And Al Michaels. And Al, what are the numbers? I think last 51 quarters until today, Green Bay allowed 4 touchdown passes. In the first half alone, they've allowed 3. Minnesota's still having fun, aren't they?
Well, Chris, interestingly, this game started out pretty quietly tonight. It was only 3-0 at the end of the first quarter, but an explosive Minnesota offensive attack in the second quarter, resulting in a 24-10 halftime lead. Jake Reed got it started with a game tied. He got Newsome spun around, stayed in bounds, and scored. And then Randy Moss, the great-looking rookie out of Marshall, has already scored 5 touchdowns this season. This number 5 as Minnesota leads by a score of 24-10, Dan, and very few teams have had a quarter like the Vikings just had.
Oh, boy, that was something to see. Now, we all know Fritz Shermer, one of the best defensive coordinators of all time, has made adjustments before. You know he's had a busy 12 minutes in the Green Bay locker room. I think what they really need to do, regain control of the line of scrimmage. They're getting whipped up front by the guys from Minnesota.
No, they really are, Dan, but, you know, don't count out Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers. Just when you think you got them beat, as probably Minnesota feels like they do in the locker room right now, he's going to come out and he's going to start flying. The ball will be flinging all over the place. Just a question, I think, of how bad this weather is going to get. I mean, it's getting pretty nasty right now.
Well, clearly it behooves Minnesota to play in these conditions with a 14-point lead, and we'll see if they can maintain it and remain unbeaten. They'd be the only team in the NFC at 5-0.
Yo, down here. I'm the Brooklyn Bridge. You think you could take me? You want a piece of me, huh? Let's go. You and me. Right now.
The undeniably smooth, ever luxurious ES300. The road is going. Answer it.
I got your fancy suspension right here.
The Lexus Halftime Show has been brought to you by Lexus Luxury Automobiles, the result of a relentless pursuit of perfection. We'll be back with the second half kickoff after this from our ABC stations.
Tonight on Channel 5 Eyewitness News at 10.
As you watch the game at home, some Viking fans made the trip and braved the elements. We'll tell you whether they thought the trip was worth it.
Plus, a Minnesota bodybuilder says his workouts get an extra boost from a bottle. Tonight, we'll tell you what's in the stuff and why the NFL won't touch it.
Also, a big act is coming to town. If the country bug hasn't bitten you yet, in the next 9 days, it just might.
Next on Eyewitness News.
Now boarding GMC Jimmy and Sun Country Airlines.
Right now, buy a new GMC Jimmy and get 2 round-trip Sun Country airline tickets to exciting cities like Miami, Phoenix, New York, Los Angeles, and many other domestic destinations. Plus, with a new GMC Jimmy, get low 0.9% APR GMAC financing or $2,000 cash back. Start packing. Sun Country Airlines and GMC Jimmy take you where you want to go. See your participating GMC dealer for details.
This year, Polaris has 23 new models.
2 new brake systems, a revolutionary new suspension system, 2 new body styles, and 5 new engines. All of which make Polaris for $99 the newest line in snowmobile history. And with the most new features ever introduced on a snowmobile line, just one other new component has to be installed. You. Buy before October 15th for $300 of free gear or nothing down, with no payments or interest for 5 months.
Find the answer to your storage problems at Menards. Store bikes, lawnmowers, and garden tools in these handy units from Rubbermaid. They assemble in only 10 minutes in 2 styles, just $88 each. Clean up standing water the easy way with this 18-gallon pump vac from ShopVac. The built-in pump removes water without ever having to dump the tank, just $99.97. Clean up with big savings at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Tonight, how Garth Brooks plans to tackle the Twin Cities.
Monday Night Football is online with live action, interviews, and post-game analysis at ESPN.com and on America Online.
Well, it has begun to rain sideways.
Are you kidding me?
In Green Bay, it is pouring as we start the third quarter. Ryan Long